Dawson Rider review.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here. This is going to be my review for the Mandalorian Dark Saber box. Not the sword at all, just the box. No, I wanted to start with the box just because I kind of like to point out collectible boxes, and I thought this one was cool. It's kind of your stereotypical Star Wars one, which I think have been rather generic lately, but I really like that they included all these different facets of the Mandalorian Saber. Like, you got the helmet up here, you have Maul here since he was one of the wielders, and then you have Sabine. I'm really surprised they didn't put the Mando on there. Like, I know he hasn't wielded it yet, but just because of the popularity, I'm surprised they didn't put it on there. And then, you know, on the back, you just have what the saber does. But I wanted to show that off just because I like that they included, like, most of the history on there, which I thought was rather neat. Okay, now on to the main event itself. Obviously, this is much more of a, like, kid roleplay toy saber and not a, like, Force FX Black Series saber. But I still think it's pretty cool we're getting a toy for this, especially now that it's in the Mandalorian and stuff like that. I'm kind of surprised in a way we didn't get it back during Rebels, since that was more targeted towards kids. But I think it's really cool we're getting one. I have no doubt we'll eventually get a Black Series one, but I'm pretty impatient, and I thought this thing was pretty neat. And as you can see, it's still a pretty decent size, and other than the fact that the hilt is just kind of that cheap gray plastic, it doesn't look half bad, and like these little bits here are kind of surprising. Like, I could honestly see them foregoing this and just making it solid gray, and I appreciate that they have these details in it. And then the blade is kind of a hard one to do. You just kind of have this toy-looking black plastic with the crackling and then the white on the outside, but for what it is, I kind of dig it because it does represent the fact that it's got this inner glow that's different, which I think is pretty cool. And like I said, it's a pretty decent size, and it's 30 bucks, which is kind of pricey-ish, but for having something either until they come out with a Black Series one or to save money, it's not bad look-wise. And I'll be doing a comparison in a minute, just kind of the average size of a Black Series Kylo Ren saber I have, but we'll get to that in a second. On the bottom, there's like on, off, and try me. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on. And did you hear the activation sound? It's because there isn't one. And there's a button right here, and just like lots of lightsabers, or pretty much all lightsabers, it'll turn on. There you go. And you can hear the sort of standby noises that sound just like on the show, which is really cool. You can see the fluctuating lights, and then you get clashing sounds. And you also have movement sounds. And it'll have both clashing and movement sounds when you move it around, or when you clash on it. So pretty standard fare there. And it's really neat, and I'll be showing in a minute it in the dark, which I'll get to, but I really like the standby noise. It sounds not only accurate, but it makes it feel satisfying and real. Like, if you know what I mean. Like, obviously it's a toy, but it gives you a powerful feeling, which I really like. The clashing noises are pretty generic, but it also makes kind of whirring noises when you slash it around, which feels really nice. And you can also activate an electric, like, almost an electric blue. And when you can activate an electric sound when you hold down this button. So you got kind of a crackling noise and a little extra blue light there that'll hold on to it. And then it'll kind of go back to those standby noises. But that's the core gist of it, but I think they did a good job on it. It sounds accurate. The Dark Saber has a more unique sound to it, so it's, you know, correct with that, and I like that. It's not just either generic or them recycling lightsaber sounds, and it feels satisfying. I like that it goes all the way up and isn't just a completely on thing. I think that's pretty cool. I'm gonna do a quick cutaway because this is kind of limited space. As you can see, I even had to open up my normal review station to fit this thing in here fairly comfortably, but I'm gonna do a cutaway showing a comparison to the Kylo Ren lightsaber just for like a size comparison, and then a little bit of what it looks like in the dark, in a more open area where I can swing it around like a huge dork. Okay, just for comparison's sake, here it is size-wise next to the Kylo Ren saber. As you can see, it's actually almost as long as it, but not quite. And there's obviously a quality difference since this is a Black Series one, so you might want to wait for the inevitable one. But it's a pretty decent size, all things considered. Plus, the Dark Saber is shorter a little bit anyway than most regular lightsabers, at least from what I remember. But yeah, so overall, I really dig this thing. I don't think it's perfect, and 30 seems a little bit pricey. It's been a while since I brought an electronic lightsaber, but I think if you're impatient like me and you've been waiting for something like this thing's a lot of fun. Definitely much more of a toy-looking item, but I think in the meantime, I'm really getting a kick out of it, so I can recommend checking it out for Dark Saber fans, but maybe wait for a sale. Christmas is around the corner, they'll be doing lots of sales and stuff like that, or, you know, wait for the Black Series one. I'll probably pick that one up as well. Anyways, guys, that's about it for this one. Until next time, like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you get notifications for my videos. Dawson Rider.